Hey guys, Mark here. I hope you're all doing well. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to join Paracord for survival as well as practical purposes. Now, as you may already know, I have a tutorial on joining Paracord for decorative purposes. This is by using a splicing method called the Manny Method, which is a very secure way of joining Paracord for decorative purposes. I've had a ton of comments on that video from people who wanted to see how to join Paracord for survival purposes. So this video is going to answer that question. Now in general, we have several ways of connecting rope. Splices are the most effective since they are the strongest, but splicing paracord is not something that is usually viable. So we're going to focus on the other two main ways, which are by using bends and knots. So in this video, you're going to find a nice selection of knots as well as bends that I personally find useful for joining together paracord. Did I cover all of the possible techniques? Of course not, but I chose the ones that I find useful. If we briefly cover the issue of strength of your rope, as soon as you cut your rope, you're going to lose some effectiveness. Anytime you tie a knot onto your rope, you are gaining utility, but you are decreasing the strength of your rope. Usually the rule of thumb is that as soon as you join two pieces of rope together, you lose about half of its strength. That is considerable, but it also varies depending on the type of rope you're using, as well as the type of knot that you are using. So while I do give some strength assessments for each of the techniques, you should take that with a grain of salt. Some techniques may be stronger with some type of a rope and some with others. The only way to truly test is to use a jig and gradually increase the load upon your paracord. The strength assessments that I use in this video are made by researching that specific technique across a variety of different ropes and cords. So they are based in research, but not in research done specifically with paracord. With that said, let's get started. The first way of joining paracord is also one of my favorites. It is easy to do, fast, and effective. We take one of the ends and fold it into a bight. We take the other end, feed it through the bight, then around on the underside. Take the end and place it under like this, then tighten up. And you have a fairly strong way of connecting two pieces of paracord, the sheet bend. The sheet bend can also be used in order to connect two pieces of rope with different diameters. In this case, I have some hemp rope and my paracord. I'm going to take the thicker of the two pieces of rope, fold it into a bight, take the other end, feed it under and through the bight, then around and under the second cord, then tighten up. As you can see, it is a very secure way of connecting two pieces of rope of different diameters. If you want an even stronger sheet bend, the double sheet bend may be an option. Again, we make a bight with one of the ends. We take the other end, again travel through the bight, come around like this, and under the cord, then around again, and under the cord again. Then tighten up, and you have the double sheet bend. The next knot that we're going to take a look at is the fisherman's knot. This knot is usually the go-to knot that people use in order to join two pieces of rope together when you need a strong joint. What you do is you take your two pieces, you align them like this, you take the bottom one, pass over the top one, then back down, basically creating a loop, then take the working end and pass it into the loop, then tighten up. Take the top cord, pass it over the bottom end, then around, like this, again creating a loop, then go through the loop with your end and tighten up. Pull on the two pieces of paracord and you have a single fisherman's knot. If you need a strong bond, I highly recommend using the double fisherman's knot over the single version. It is tied exactly the same way, but adding another turn before tightening up the knot. So again, I have lined up my two pieces of paracord and I'm going to pick up the bottom end and place it over the top one. Like this. I'm going to come around like this, basically creating a loop. Then I'm going to come around again, creating a second loop, then taking my end, I'm going to go over the bottom cord, then under the two loops, and tighten up. Then I'm going to take the top cord, I'm going to pass over the bottom cord and around, like this, come around again, and back to the top, creating a second loop. Then I'm going to take my end and I'm going to pass over the top cord, then go through the two loops, like this, and tighten up. Bring your two knots together and you have a double fisherman's knot. For maximum security, you may even want to go as far as using a triple fisherman's knot. Since nylon ropes do tend to be a bit slippery, it is a good idea to use the triple fisherman's knot when you need absolute security with your cords. So we're going to start with the bottom cord, place it over the top one, and create the first loop. Wrap around again, creating the second loop. And for the third time, like this, creating the third loop. Now take your end, pass over the bottom cord, then through the three loops, and tighten up. Take the top cord, pass over the bottom cord, creating your first loop, second loop, third loop, pass over the top cord and through the three loops. Tighten up, and you have a triple fisherman's knot. Another technique that I quite like is the Zeppelin bend. This one is quite easy to tie as well as quite secure. We're going to start by taking one of the ends and forming a loop that is going over the standing end. We're going to take the other end and we're going to form a loop that's going under the standing end. So like this. We're going to place this second loop under the first one. Then we're going to take the working end of our first loop and travel under and through the middle. Then we're going to take this other working end of the second cord and travel through the top and through the middle. Then simply pull your bend together, and what you get is a Zeppelin bend. One knot that I quite like is the blood knot. The blood knot is quite similar in look to the fisherman's knot, but perhaps it is a bit easier to tie. First off, we take our two cords and we line them up like this, so one over the other. I'm going to take my top cord, wrap it around the bottom one, like this, then wrap around again. Then to finish this top cord, I'm going to place it over, then under. So over the top one, under the bottom one. Then I do the same thing with the bottom cord. So I go over the top cord, around again, then over the bottom one and under the top one. Then simply bring your two cords together and tighten up. And what you get is the blood knot. The blood knot can also be made stronger by adding more turns. Again, we take the two cords, we place one over the other, then we take the top cord, we go over the top, wrap around the bottom one, then do a series of turns. Like this, for example, then finish with an over-under. Take the bottom cord, travel over the top one, and again make a series of turns. Then finish by going over the bottom one, under the top one, like this. Tighten up, and you have a triple pass blood knot. The racking bend is another bend that can be used in order to join ropes of different diameters. So here I have again my hemp rope as well as my paracord. I'm going to take the thicker or the rope with the larger diameter, and I'm going to make a small bight. So like this. I'm going to take my paracord, feed it through the bight. Then I'm going to start a series of 8 shapes around my bight. So I'm going to go over under, like this, then back over under, and back over under, and over under again. And I can do this for a while, but for now what I'm going to do is finish it up with a hitch. So again I go over under, like this, but this time I take my end and I feed it like this in order to get a hitch going. After this, move your cord down, pull on the end, and you have a secure way of joining 2 diameters of a rope. The reef knot is another knot that you can use in order to join 2 pieces of paracord. This one should not be relied upon in order to carry any load, and it is basically more of a temporary knot. We tie it by taking the right end and placing it over the left end. Then we go around like this and pull on the 2 ends, place the left one over the right one, around, and tighten up. And you have a reef knot. Just like many of the knots, you can upgrade this one in order to make it more secure. We take the right end, we pass over the left one, under, like this. Then, with the left end, we pass over the right one, around, and tighten up. So the single reef knot. Then we take the right end again, place it over the left end, come around, and tighten up. And you have a more secure version of the reef knot. So guys, now that I have covered many techniques, probably more than you need, we have come to the end of this tutorial. I hope that these techniques will serve well for you. Thank you and see you next time.